Record, here we are. So I'm calling this the theme for the class primal movement, in terms of sort of how animals move, how they use their whole body to engage in any type of movement, you know, lunging for prey or even just stretching, hence the name downward facing dog. So if you guys keep that in mind, primal movement, I'll be referring to that. And it starts at our feet. So we're going to have a focus on feet. It's going to be legs. I was going to do abdominal stuff today, but I think we'll put that in tomorrow. So 15 minutes of feet and then working our way up through that. So I've got a blanket for my back knee. We're going to start in a lovely forward fold. Okay, so we're going to have our feet. So this depends on everybody. If you are quite tight in your hamstrings, you can use a double width of your legs so you can go wide. And I, in fact, would say go wider than the mat if you're really tight. If you've got the range of movement in your legs, move them so they're just directly under your hips. And we're going to come with a softness behind our knees. So soften the space behind your knees, fold down, let the top of your head hang down. Okay, and then you can rest your hands on your shins or slide your hands down. You can bring them to the floor. And your gaze is at your knees, so make sure you've got your mic off. Okay, otherwise you come onto the screen and then the recording goes out to 240 people. It's for you guys, so you don't feel embarrassed. Okay, so legs are strong and they can have that soft quality. You can start to straighten them. You can grab a hold of your elbows if you'd like to go deeper. That allows your body to have a weight quality, your torso to be heavy. So we're coming here, opening the backs of our legs and feeling the ground connecting with our feet. So bring your attention to your feet here. Feel with a sway forward and back, the different quality of your feet on the backs of the feet, at the heels, on the outer edges where you make a footprint when your feet are wet, feel the area there. Work over to your toe side. You feel like you're going to tip over. And then you can do that a couple more times as you breathe. Now, with the breath, draw the breath in through the nose and out through the nose. You bunged up, you use your mouth. Feel the breath smoothly, evenly, and allow yourself to hear your own breath. Okay, now with the feet, imagine your feet are drawing together. So you sort of want to feel like you're gripping your feet. And you feel how that changes your legs. And then feel the opposite, as if you're pulling your feet away. As if the heels are repelling against each other. You feel the different quality in your body. Good, and then relax. Bring your arms down, soften your knees. We're going to come into a little mild chair pose with our forearms. This is to regulate your blood pressure. Forearms on the tops of the legs. And then sit your bum back. You feel the weight in your heels. You let your blood change. Your face, like mine, goes bright red. Let it come back. Regulate. So add a little bit of a movement in your hips, up, down. And then bring your hands to your knees and let yourself come up slowly, slowly. Feel your shoulders. Okay, this is me preparing my right leg to go back. So I'll drop my knee on a blanket. Okay, not for everybody. If you're okay where you are, you just keep your leg on the floor. Stand up tall, feel your feet, look forwards. We'll take a sun salutation, turn your palms out. So while you're here, before I start us, bring your feet so they're underneath your hips. Okay, now start to look up, breathe in and reach into that space above your head. Reach up, little lean back. And then as you exhale, bring your hands to your hips, soften your knees and step your right leg back. Okay, and that's a big long step back, a lunge. Let that right knee come to the floor. Okay, roll your shoulders, check in there. Okay, so we're gonna push into that front foot and lower into it. So you're gonna breathe in, push, lower, let's bring the arms. Breathe in, push. Good. My balance is steadied by my back toes being tucked under. Okay, squeeze your bum muscles so they draw in together. So when I say squeeze, I don't mean tense. Just feel the bones moving inward towards your center line. Breathe in. Start to turn your gaze to look up as you breathe in. Good. Wherever you are, we'll do 3 more. That's a little bit more of a rapid breath. And then on your last one, lower your hands down, lift your back knee, take a little stretch here, starting to work towards a straighter front knee. Okay, and then we're going to step that back foot up, feet under your hips, bring your hands to above your knees, push your way up, come straight into a sun salute. There it is. Exhale, hands to hips, soften your knees. We're gonna step our left leg back and do the same thing on the other side. Okay. Roll the shoulders, ground the front foot. So the pose here is actually, the full pose is back knee is lifted. So there's weight in that front foot, okay? So you wanna feel the ground under that front foot. Feel the pelvis moving in a circular way this way. So pubic bone comes up, tailbone comes down. Okay, and then we work with the arms. Push into the ground, breathe in, look up. Good, you wanna feel that foot on the front foot. In fact, the back leg is very active. The knee, the toes, they're supporting the balance. Good, last 5 breaths. And on your final breath, bring your hands down, down, lift the back knee, just take a stretch in the legs. And if you have a prop, you can slide it away. Roll your shoulders, check in there. Oh, somebody needs to mute themselves. I think someone's coming onto the screen. So check that you've got your microphone is on a red light on the bottom left, bottom right. Okay, we're gonna step that back foot up. Feet are under our hips. Okay. Hands come to the hips. Drop your sit bones like you're sitting into a chair. Breathe in and reach. Up, look up. And exhale. Standing in mountain pose, just pause here for a moment. And we're gonna really activate the legs here. Some of you guys that come to my regular practice know this one. It starts out as a nice sort of hip hello to a Janis Joplin hip screaming, wah! So it's enjoyable, okay? So think of it as a sensational feeling, not a Janis Joplin scream in a bad way. Okay, so roll your shoulders, stand up tall. Feel your feet here, okay? Feel energized in the feet. Let's breathe in and reach up. Okay, so we're gonna start taking that right leg back, hands to your hips. Right leg steps back into that deep lunge. Yep, so you've got the option of bringing that knee down or keeping it lifted. Okay, so we're gonna take crescent lunge. Hips roll forwards, pubic bone moves up and slightly in. So you grip your hip bones together. And then you feel the feet, energize the feet. We're gonna bring our arms out wide. If you have the space, if you don't, bring them up. Okay, out wide. So my back foot is going to rotate until the heel comes down. So it looks like warrior two. And this is what all we're doing is we're rotating on that back foot up with different change in the arms, crescent lunge, and then heel down. Up, heel down. Up. You get a grip on that back foot. Get up, down. So if you're on that bottom knee, you can change this to be here. So modify, right? Take it your own place for your own body. This is, yoga is a customized class. You need to know what your body's wanting to do and what it doesn't want to do. Let's do one more of those. Good, let's hold this semi-quasi warrior two. Reach your hands out, open up your heart, reach them, lock at the elbows. Good, bend a little deeper if it's there in that front knee. Okay, and then turn your palms to face up, look up. And then bring this back hand in, rotate that back heel up. This is where the hip feels the sensation. It's the standing leg. So think the animalistic, right? So we're looking forwards. Now, if your back knee is down, you're gonna lift it. And we're gonna look under our body actually and have a look at our back foot. And we're gonna let it lift up. So springy, be springy. Now, if it's freaking you out, increase the front knee bend. And so that back foot only hovers over the floor. Okay, or it can look like standing splits. Lower. So my front knee has lots of bend in it for now. And we're gonna do 3 more of those. Front knee is generously bent. Okay, wherever you are, you're gonna hold your last one. Okay, look back, make sure it's the heel that's lifting, toes are pointing towards the floor, and then bring that back, knee into the front knee, and then send it back, breathe in. Now bring your hands so they're under your shoulders. Mine come right off the mat. Knee in. Breathe in, stretch out. Breathe out, knee in. Breathe in, even the head wants to come forward and look forward. I don't know if I'm out of frame. Keep going, breathe in. Last 3. Last one. Now try to see if you can hold that. Hold it, breathe in, hold the breath, and squeeze into your midline. Squeeze your hips. Maybe you get a little more height in that back heel. And then bring that foot forward. Okay, bend your knees so you look like you're in a squat, so feet wide. Bend your knees. Hands into prayer. Just pause here for a moment. You can add a little movement if that's nice for you. Pause. You want to find your breath in an even tone. Okay, bring your hands to your thighs, push yourself up. Good, you feel that? Feel that one leg? Screaming, hallelujah. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Yay. Feet under your hips. Stand up tall. Breathe in, reach up, look up. Let your hands come to your hips, soften behind your knees. Okay, this is the left foot. Now, stepping back. So even when you step back here, your body has to carry the weight forward to take the balance. Okay, so that's part of this sort of animalistic thing. I have to do it from this side, otherwise I'll be backwards towards you. Okay, so here we are. We're gonna keep our feet so they're hip width, so when you stand up, you're not on a tightrope. Okay, if you feel that way, front foot comes out to the right. Bring your hands to your hips. Turn your pelvis. Okay, pubic bone up and in, tailbone down. All right, so have a little quality of movement here. Feel your feet. Right, there it is. Okay, Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. First, reach your hands up and then play with the wrists, turn them back, forwards. Okay, so this is my left hand, that's my left leg. The heel's gonna rotate down. And then we're in our warrior two, okay, which feels a bit not warmed up yet. So we're gonna warm that up. We're gonna breathe in, rotate onto the ball of the back foot. Breathe in and breathe out. So take it easy on your legs, on that back foot if it's a bit funky. Go slowly, breathe in, open up the arms. Breathe in. Now my first side, I felt like I could do this easier, but for some reason, my back foot doesn't feel great here. So I'm going a little slower. Breathe in. Breathe in. Pause. Breathe out. Last two here. One more, and then we'll hold the warrior two position. Breathe in. And then open up the warrior two. Good. Bend the front knee over the heel. Reach the arms out. Rotate your palms up. Good, there it is. And then we're gonna come forwards. Find our grounding. Okay, now check in with the shoulders. Where are they? Are they here? If they're here and they don't go anywhere else than there, you can always bring yourself onto some props and come higher. Okay, I tend to go onto my fingers here. Okay, so you need a little bit of mat ahead of you. We're gonna do this animalistic spring and lower. So look back, see your back foot lifting. Remember, the front knee is bent. So it's boing. You wanna think of a really nice, fresh, well-working spring, or like a slinky. And the heel is lifting, the toes stay pointing towards the floor. Okay, so an indicator of the hip being a bit closed is that the toes are pointing out. So activate those toes to the floor, lift from the heel. Good, breathe into that right hip, last two. Okay, so hold that, walk your hands so they're under your shoulders, and then look back. It's the heel that's lifting, and then you're bending the knee behind the front, the standing leg. Breathe in, look forwards. Good, last 4 breaths. Good, and then bring that leg back, hold it, stretch, squeeze the leg, and let it come forwards. Walk them as wide as your mat if you have a mat there. Take a deep squat. You can keep your hands on the floor. I've just realized I've gone grossly over here. Good. Bring your hands into prayer. Pause. We're going to make our way up to standing. I don't want you to rush this. Make your way up. You feel your hips. You hear them? Good. Just let your feet walk out. You can march them out. Yeah, if you have a child, you can do some of these. That's it. Good. We'll finish off with 3 sun salutations. So you probably really need to do a little bit of a cool down in your own time. Okay, so I like to finish with my feet together. Feel the midline, the energy drawing up. Everybody's different. You can bring your feet to hip width apart, standing up tall, smiling, let your heart shine open, and breathe in and reach out. Look up. Exhale. Well, thank you for joining. Now maybe you go to the grocery store with some lively hips. You feel good. And I think tomorrow I'll do a little bit of a Q&A. I have to go after this, but if you guys want to let me know some things you want to have, I might try and add in some extra core stuff at the end of these, just to add another 5 minutes. Kids may come into the room, but I'm sure you guys can understand that. But it's lovely to see all your faces and all your little babies coming into the frame. Have a lovely rest of your day, and make sure to drink lots of water after that. And bye. And I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.